You are now in tune to the Keys to the City podcast.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Another edition of Keys to the City. We took a little 2-week hiatus, but for good reason. Had the family down in Florida enjoying Super Bowl weekend. It's already been like, what'd you leave? I think you left a week ago.
Last Tuesday, bro. Valentine's Day.
Damn, man. You left on Valentine's Day. You're breaking my heart, bro. Valentine's Day, you broke my heart. Even though I had to work, you broke my heart.
Yeah, you broke my heart 2 years ago, so.
I never break people's hearts.
1/20/21.
What do you mean? No. Oh yeah, and I landed and I got there on January 21st of 2021.
That's great.
Isn't it? It's a fantastic time. But yes.
No, but honestly, bro, does it even feel like the football season has ended?
No, it never does. It really never does, just because it's football, man. It's an ongoing. It's an ongoing process. I mean, see, that's the fascinating thing about football. Like, look at basketball and stuff. Basketball takes its time. I just wanted to quickly say about the NBA All-Star Weekend. I think it was a perfect representation of the NBA current league right now, and they better figure it out because, yes, I know it's a popular league right now among the younger generation, but they got to get it going. The competitiveness, the load management. No defense anymore. I think it was really a great representation for the wrong in the NBA, but we're not going to get into that whole. I mean, we have a lot more to talk about the NBA because now we are down to the final stretch.
I have a lot to say on that too.
I mean, we talked about it last night. I think it pisses me off.
I don't think I think you got to understand
when guys are playing in the All-Star game. It's not football. It's not football where you're getting hit every freaking play.
So we have a lesson. We want to talk about football. We mentioned the basketball thing. Here's my thing. I
just want to talk quick.
I think what it is it's called the weekend. So you got the celebrity game on Friday, which is always somewhat kind of interesting. Yeah. DK Metcalf, baby. And of course, you got drug tested after that.
For his fake video. I hope you didn't think that was a real video, though.
It was real.
Oh, my God.
It was real. Yes, it was.
There's no way in hell that a man could jump that high.
Listen, it was real. That was not. They even talked about PTI yesterday.
You're on drugs.
That was the Steph Curry thing.
You're on drugs. Yeah, that wasn't real either.
This one is real. This one was real. After that,
you think everything? See, that's the problem with you. You think everything is real when you see
wrestling
shit like
real.
When you see. No, it's not. There's certain things that happen in wrestling, but most of the time it's all scripted and it's entertainment. That was just fake. You think all these videos are real. See, that's the funny thing. People like you make me laugh because people like you believe every little thing that goes on into the country.
Yeah, it makes it more
fun. It's
fun.
hilarious. But I just want to say quickly, you can find Keys of the City on all social media platforms. Check us out at Keys of the City.
Listen, we're chaotic. We just talk over each other. We do what we got to do. I don't care no more. I really don't care. Okay?
Why do you not? Why? Where the caring? See, there's no caring. You need to care.
Because we're too damn scripted. We're pretending
like you sound like the basketball players trying to play defense. They don't care enough. That's weak. Argument.
You know what we were before? Remember the football movie? Texas State, Southern's Texas South State. I hate this tie. I hate this shirt. That ain't me. That is not me. That's not what I represent. Okay.
Well, we're also Italian, so you know the Italians, we love to talk. And guess what? We don't really care.
Listen, I didn't mind the All-Star weekend. I would have loved to see a little bit more defense. Yeah. Especially in that fourth quarter where I was telling Brett, I was like, listen,
it was unfortunate.
With regards to that, if you get a close game, usually it's competitive. I do like the notion of let's make it a base incentive. Like, hey, listen, winning team, every player gets $1 million. Losing team gets nothing. Then you'll see if the players actually play hard. Make it a little incentive base that might get someone going. A couple guys played hard. Most of the guys just play. Listen, no different than the regular NBA game. There's no defense anyway.
And that's what I'm saying. Just to quickly say that it's a perfect representation of the current league of the NBA. Everybody's buddy-bedded. There's no competitiveness. There's no defense. Guys are scoring 190 points this year. Like, everybody's scoring 50 points. Congratulations to my boy Jason Tatum on winning the MVP. But let's just
you know what stinks? The game. Okay, I get.
3 years ago was a better. 3 years ago was a better.
Yeah, listen, game. I get that. The game was just a dunk contest with the superstars.
It's stupid. Then don't have it.
I get it. It's stupid. I get it. The problem is on Saturday, that is supposed to be where the superstars and all-stars kind of show off their talents.
It's never going to happen.
Here's the problem. There was no superstars in the tournament on Saturday. And when I say tournament, I mean the dunk contest, the three. Damian Lillard is probably the biggest name.
Tatum was the biggest name.
Yeah, but I mean, the skills competition. We don't. Giannis ain't playing. He got his brother who's like on the G League. Like, I love the Matt McClung story.
Yeah, it's like you. I gotta have you come out of the G League.
But even like John Morant said, I'm never doing it. Anthony Edwards, I'm not doing it. That is the only issue with what NBA is trying to get on that Saturday night. Is this like, well, Kevin Durant was like, we need more superstars to do it. Kevin Durant, I'd like to see you in the 3-point competition. I'd love to see, like when we used to play the NBA Live, have Durant, have Curry, have Clay, have.
Well, that's why it's a video game. That's why it's a video game where you can do shit like that, and you can have fun with it. But
whatever. Listen, there's 23 games more left in the season.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely dive more into the NBA as the weeks progress because we haven't talked about it whatsoever. Well, because like I was just saying, quick.
Let me interrupt you for 1 second. I'm going to do it, and it'll be the last time. You said it perfectly.
I doubt it will ever be the last time you interrupt me. That's a freaking lie.
Well, it might just be. It might be just today's last time.
I still don't believe that.
I think you said it perfectly last night. You don't really need to watch the NBA season until the playoffs, or at least the last. And it's kind of like a basketball game. In the NBA, you don't need to watch the first 3 quarters. Just to watch the fourth quarter and see if the game is close.
But that's the thing. It's all sports.
So right now, you just have to watch the last 23 games because right now you have a race in the West because between 4 and like the 12th team, there's only separated by 3 or 4 games.
Yeah.
The East, listen, we know what the East is about. The East is 4 teams.
Well, Giannis is out now for a little while with the wrist,
Celtics,
wrist injury, so we'll keep an eye on that.
Sixers. But
that's the thing. All these sports right now, all sports leagues, pretty much, like especially baseball, you really don't have to watch baseball until the summertime, maybe in August, September. Hockey's the same way, NBA. But football is completely different. This is why football will forever be the alpha of the sports world in our country. I'm sorry for all baseball fans and basketball fans and hockey fans and the people that somehow think soccer maybe in this country is growing. It will never happen. It's just football is dominant. And that's the thing about it, Ted, is that I know football is over with. It's sad. A week ago already. It was kind of frustrating on Sunday when you just come home and you see all the videos or clips of like people just sitting in the room and like, damn, there's no football. But the thing is, especially with the past couple of years, you've seen that like the football season's been great, but it seems like the offseason is even better at times because of the fact that we've seen so much player movement, like in the sense of trades, the big names where we've seen the receivers last year. Then it was Brady moving on a couple of years ago. You've seen guys like Phillip Rivers, just Hall of Fame type talent that's been on the move the past couple of years that it gets like, okay, what are we expecting this year now? What last year was the receiver market that just got moved on all over the place. What's the quarterback market this year? What's it going to be like? Because you got Lamar Jackson, and we're going to talk specifically. I want to just talk about 4 franchises, because there are some major risky question marks going into these 4 franchises and how they're going to handle their situations, Ted. So when you look at our teams playing with the fire this offseason, what I mean by that, I'm really talking about these 4 franchises. 2 of them are in the Big Apple. One of them is where the home of the crab cakes are, Baltimore, Maryland. And then the home of the deep dish pizza, Chicago. 4 teams that have some risky playing with fire. How are you going to play?
So listen,
are you going to play your cards right? Or as Eminem once said, and I'll quote, will you let it slip away? So I don't know what's going to happen because and you think about it, the 4 franchises, all pretty similar. Quarterback decisions, and the Giants, you could just add in Saquon Barkley in that. But when you look at these 4 franchises, Ted,
talk about food. New York style pizza, deep dish pizza, or the Philly cheesesteak.
Or the crab cakes.
Oh, the crab cakes too.
I told you, Baltimore, Maryland crab cakes, bro.
So
I love crab cakes.
New York pizza would be 1. New York pizza would be 1. Philly.
I do like a deep dish pizza, bro.
Yeah.
I know people knock it because people think it's like, yes.
Then you just throw them in the toaster oven. And
those are the best.
Yeah,
people knock it because they think it's like more of a closer of a lasagna type, just with crust.
So we'll go with the New York style pizza first. I'll take the Philly cheesesteak second. I'll take the crab cake third.
Where's Philly in this? I never brought up Philly. We didn't talk about Philly. I'm talking about the Giants. I'm talking about the Jets. I'm talking about the
Well, you know what? It was funny because I was watching the Food Network the other day, and they were talking about
it's torture. It's just
something Luke's. I don't know. It's a good steak and cheese. Adam Richman was on Food. There's apparently there was a 5-foot steak, 5-pound steak and cheese sandwich. Oh, it looked delicious.
Why do we torture ourselves with that?
Because it's tough. Somebody said, if you had to choose food or sports, what would you choose? I go, well, I got to eat to survive. But if it was like you had to cut out certain things or sports, I could survive.
Just give me football and I mean football, basketball, and baseball. Myself, that's tough. I don't know if I could get rid of any of those sports.
You had to cut out Italian food or no sports.
I'm Italian. You can't knock us.
You're cutting sports out.
Dude, I'm Italian. I love Italian.
I'll skip on the Italian food. I'll keep sports.
BS. You're such an effing liar on this. Why are you lying to me? Why are you lying right now?
All right, so
let's get into it. We got to dive into it.
Well, is chicken cutlets Italian? Can I just eat chicken cutlets with no chicken parm?
Yeah, chicken cutlets is part of it.
No pasta, no pizza. I can deal with that.
No chicken parm.
No chicken parm is not
no
actually
chicken
Italian.
marsala. Chicken francese.
Chicken parm is actually not Italian. It's American Italian.
Oh, so. I know that, but still. None of that anymore. No sauce.
All right. Okay, no sports. Don't worry. I'll watch the Giants and Yankees and all the Rangers, and you can't watch sports. You got to watch soccer.
No. This is what I'll do. You watch the sports. That's when I come in and I bring the food. So then we can all just put it all together in a happy-go-lucky time. But there is some teams that, like I said, these teams have to figure out how they're going to play their hands. The Chicago Bears, whatever. I don't understand this whole Justin Fields trade. We'll talk about that quickly. And then
can we get into that first?
Yeah, go ahead. We'll talk about the Chicago Bears.
Only because listen, they got the number 1 pick. And
why are these teams going to do this? Why are they going to just do this? Is it all because of the money, or is it like, here's the thing. You like these quarterbacks nowadays. If you don't have, I'm going to just say this very simply. If you don't have Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, or Joe Burrow, and I get it, I know Jalen Hurts has moved up into the tiers, but if you don't have those three, you're probably not going to win a Super Bowl, realistically. And if you just say, oh, that's not true. We just saw a team a week and a half ago that was a less talented team in that Super Bowl still find a way to win. They found a way to win because they got the quarterback, they got the coach. If you don't have one of those elite quarterbacks, what are you going to do? Are you going to keep ship them out? We'll bring in a new guy.
I don't think they're less talented. I don't think they're less talented. The Chiefs are not less talented.
Than the Eagles?
They're not less talented.
If you looked at more talented, the Eagles probably had the more talented team.
Here's what we say. The offensive lines were comparable.
Yeah.
The quarterbacks were comparable.
Yeah.
The receivers were comparable. If you had the tight ends, Kelsey's the best, but Goddard's not a bum. All right. So offensively, I like both coaches, even though Andy Reid, you give the advantage.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Defense, the Eagles had the advantage, but the Chiefs, it's weird because when you watch them in the playoffs, Chris Jones, Nick Bolton and all their young guys that played, they had the 7th most snaps for all rookies in the entire league this season. The Eagles had the least amount of rookies playing. They have big moves that we'll talk about that in the offseason. They have 14% of the free agents, top 50 free agents available. If you go on ESPN.com right now, 7 of the top 50 free agents right now are from Philly. Eagles have already said they're going to franchise tag the safety.
Dante Gardner-Johnson.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
So, can we not talk about the Bears first? Because we are Giant fans. Because we are Giant fans, and we have to talk about what's going on with Big Blue and the New York Giants and Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley. One of them is going to get the exclusive franchise tag, or they could get the non-exclusive tag. Now, I wrote this down for people that, you could just franchise tag him, he's good. That's not true. Exclusive franchise tag consists of a tag player cannot negotiate with other teams. He's done. He's signed. He's wrapped up. Either he sits out or he plays. He could pull a Le'Veon Bell and lose money.
Not necessarily. They could trade him. They could trade him.
But the non-exclusive trade tag is where it gets interesting. Tag player can still negotiate with other teams for a better deal. The current team can match that. And if he decides to go to that other team, maybe a Lamar Jackson situation or Daniel Jones, then that team would get back compensation 2 first-round picks. So
That
when
would
you
work
look
in
at
the Giants' case. I would not do it if I was Baltimore. And what I mean by not doing it is, I don't care if you're giving me 2 first-round picks. Lamar is more valuable for that.
of course. I
For
mean,
that,
he's
for
one of
that
the top 7
franchise
quarterbacks in the world.
in that situation, the Giants. So you're going to get me 2 first-rounds for Daniel Jones. Be my guest. Here's the other thing. I was talking at the gym. I saw David Sims. We're BS, and he goes, "You see, Daniel Jones wanted $45 million." I go, "Listen,
I
it's
don't know
in
how much
any
to buy into
negotiation
that.
contract. You ask for the moon, and you get in between, right? You ask for the moon. I think that he asked for 45. The Giants are like, listen,
How much do you buy into that, though?
I buy a lot into it.
Okay.
You ask for the most. You never settle for less. You know what I mean? You ask for 100.
Yeah.
The company says 50. You meet at 75. It's a win-win. So he's going at 45. The franchise tags.
Oh, he's got the new agency now that he just left the CAA, and now he went to
franchise
Athletes
tag
First.
is somewhere at $32.5 million.
Yep.
Split the difference. It's $13 million. Call it $38 million. It's a win for him. He gets a contract closer to 40, where he wants to be, where we don't want the Giants. If he wants 45, franchises ass. Put him at $32.5 million. Prove it again 1 year. If you make us eat our own words, whatever, we'll figure it out. We'll pay you. I'll deal with that. But I'm not paying him $45 million because if we want to just get into that in that situation, and my personal feeling how I think the Giants should play it is it's still a business. We're still under some sour cap situations where the Giants still have to maneuver, right? And we know Daniel Jones had a really good season this year, but he only had 15 passing touchdowns. He wasn't stellar, okay? He didn't take that.
3 games over 230 yards.
Yeah, and
2 of them were against Minnesota.
Now, was that more of him, or was that Brian Daboll and Mike Kafka, the offensive coordinator, kind of working? Because if you watch the beginning of the season, Trevor, when we were doing this with Joe and you and me were doing weekly shows and we're talking about the Giants, we didn't have confidence in Daniel Jones. We didn't gain confidence in Daniel Jones till after the bye week, where he started to progress and started to play better, and we started to see those games that we were always hoping for when you draft him at number 6. All right? If you don't like the money, you franchise him. Make him play it out, and we'll figure out what we got to do next year. All right? But I'm not overpaying for a guy, because here's my question to you. If he wants $45 million, what is Jalen Hurts getting? They've already
heard the deals at north of $50 million.
At the end of the day, that's how you have to compare it.
Yeah.
Because then what's Jalen Hurts worth 60? Listen, nobody's worth that. All right? But I think teams, when you're like the Philadelphia Eagles, when you know you have your guy, you pay him. You pay him early, and you give him a big contract, because I think teams should start taking that Kansas City Chiefs model. Give the big contract. Give the 6-7 years, the $300 million, but space that salary cap where it's 40, 45. Because if you look at what Josh Allen and the Bills did, they gave him a short-term deal. They're paying him $55 million a year, like the Aaron Rodgers. So you're taking away almost 25% of your salary cap for one player. If I'm the Eagles, and I know we're talking about the Giants, you tell Jalen Hurts, listen, man, you take a little bit less now, but we'll give you the longer-term deal, right? We'll renegotiate. We can continually put talent around you to support you, so we can continue to grow, and hopefully you will gain that back. And so now for the Giants, we know the Giants need weapons on the offensive side of the ball, all right? But they have 2 huge things. We know we need Saquon. We know we need Daniel Jones, because like you said, Ted, who are you getting better right now? You're going to settle for Ryan Tannehill? You're not getting Derek Carr, all right? I think the Jets should take him, and we'll get into that in a second. We're not making a move for Lamar. We're not making a move for any of these big quarterbacks. Who are you going to get? Teddy Bridgewater, Andy Dalton, like Jameis Winston? So we know Daniel Jones and I think Saquon both come back to the Giants. I think they both I think the Giants figure out a way to get deals done. My thing is this. Personally, I'd like to get Daniel Jones in a 3-year deal, somewhere in that $32 to $35 million deal, right? Quarterback deal, maybe 2 years with the option for the 3rd year. Giants can work. And by in 2 or 3 years, bro, $35 million ain't going to be nothing. So you could flip him, trade him, release him. It is not going to be that much, considering where the market's at, because we've talked about the quarterbacks that need or eventually get paid. So that 35 is going to seem like $20 million in 3 years, right?
Yeah.
Saquon, I'd rather franchise. Now, I love Saquon because I'm a fan. I know what he represents for the Giants. But you and me have talked about this personally. As much as we love Saquon, you got to understand the bigger picture in football. Running backs are a dime a dozen. It's sad to say that. He's explosive. He's dynamic. But you're looking at guys like Gerald McKinnon. You're looking at Isaiah Pacheco, 7th-round pick. Like, guys are coming off the street, not off the street, but late-round picks, and they're having significant impacts on their teams. So
that's why for me personally,
you can't pay him as much as you want to personally. I think a lot of Giant fans say we want Saquon back. We want him. We want him at our number. I think everyone wants him at our number. It's our contract. And Saquon also realizes that his career is short, so he's got to maximize his opportunity and his money. It's a tough situation, but I think the Giants figure it out between both players.
It is truly fascinating to go on Twitter and watch New York Giant Twitter. I don't know how other
Is it good, bad? What do they say?
It's just funny because I don't know how other football team pages are with other fans because I only really take a look and follow the New York Giants, and we follow plenty of them. And just to watch the back and forth of just a 12-round fight of if this guy likes Daniel Jones or does this guy deserve to get paid. Me personally, I want to franchise Daniel Jones. Give him the exclusive franchise tag.
And then do it the other way?
The thing is, I want to do that because I still want to see. Look, I know the stats aren't the sexiest. It wasn't. He didn't throw for 40 touchdowns. He didn't throw for 5,000 yards. I get it, but look at what he had. His offensive line was subpar, with the exception of Andrew Thomas. The weapons, we already have spoke upon it many of times this year. You got to get the man some weapons. Pull a Josh Allen. Pull a Jalen Hurts. Where what I'm talking about is go get somebody. Go get one of these guys. Maybe a Mike Evans, maybe a DeAndre Hopkins, maybe a T. Higgins. Go get him an opportunity, a true number one type guy that can open the pass game up, where if he does flourish next year and he has his best year, then you give him the big deal. But I'm not ready to commit fully long-term. Look, I get it. You got to get paid. I understand it. Trust me. Some teams are going to pay for it. But me personally, I want the exclusive franchise tag because I said, you got to look at this league right now. There's only a few elites. Everybody else is trying to get up into that level. It ain't happening for a reason. I don't think
you have to.
Why is it? But why is it? That's not true. I still believe you have to have. I don't care what your team is surrounded. You have to have an elite quarterback. Look at the past couple Super Bowl winners. This year, Patrick Mahomes. Last year, Matthew Stafford had an elite level season. Tom Brady the year before had an elite level season.
Is he a weak quarterback?
Who, Matthew Stafford? Hold on. The year that he had it, Jalen Hurts had an elite level year this year.
Look at the teams and look at the talent surrounded by it. So you can win with a young quarterback. You can win like the Eagles did, where their team was loaded. The talent around them was loaded on a young quarterback's deal, like what the Chargers and the Bengals are trying to do.
But the Giants can't make a mistake in thinking that they can go all in like a Dallas and pull a Dak Prescott where you pay him the big bucks, even though people feel around the world or the football world, I know they may feel that he may be that billion-dollar quarterback that they think he is, that franchise guy.
No one thinks Daniel Jones.
But not a lot of people. Yeah, okay. But did people think Dak Prescott was?
No, we know that. No, but here's the thing. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter.
I don't want the Giants to be put in a situation like that.
Listen, the market speaks for itself. It's like the housing market nowadays. It is what it is. You either pay the extra money for the house or you don't get the house. And you stay home with your parents. That's what the market tells you. So in a league where you're going to have to pay quarterbacks, right? Like the Eagles. We know the Eagles are going to pay the quarterback. They're going to pay Hurts. They're not going to wait another year. As much as most people would say, you want to wait another year, let's run it back. Yeah. You can't afford to do that because you got 4 quarterbacks in the next year or 2 that are going to get paid big bucks. Herbert, Burrow, Trevor Lawrence.
Maybe even this offseason.
And you don't know where we've always said, is it better to pay early than late? But you don't want to get burnt. You know what I mean? I don't think Dallas got burnt. I think Dak earned what he needed to. Yeah, you could say, he should have got $5 million less.
Yeah, but look at it now, bro. Now you're in a situation. Look at even the Kirk Cousins deals. Just look at that. Is Daniel Jones closer to the Josh Allens, Joe Burrows, and Patrick Mahomes, or is he closer to the Derek Carrs, the Dak Prescotts, and the Kirk Cousins? Exactly. Or Ryan Tannehill. Is he closer to them, or is he closer to the elites? That's what you have to look at. I know the money says that you got to pay him. I get it. Teams are going to go out and go pay for him. I understand that. Teams like Washington, teams that need quarterbacks, the Jets. There are teams, the Panthers, the Titans. There's some teams that are circulating that need quarterback help. Maybe they just say, screw it. I don't give a crap. I'm going in. I'm going to get them. But you can't also go push all your marbles in and think, okay, if you're a team that's a one piece away and you think a quarterback is your piece, then go get them. Okay, go get them. Like the Jets. But if you're a team that's like the Panthers, where you still have a lot of holes around that team, are you willing to fortune all of that money. Now, I know
David
Tepper is aggressive. He went all in Matt Rule and paid him big bucks, yet they still are going to be
but coaches doesn't matter. You can be a coach $100 million like John Gruden.
My point is that a guy like David Tepper will be aggressive. That's my point.
But listen, that's fine. I think in the NFC South, if you can fit any quarterback that's halfway decent, that's a winnable division.
I get it. You got to pay your quarterback.
Listen, Ryan Tannehill and the Titans were the number 1 seed, bro.
I know.
So you can win in this league. You can get to a Super Bowl with a mid-level quarterback. You can.
Can you?
You can get to – listen, Brock Purdy and the 49ers got to an NFC Championship game, and who knows if he was healthy if they win that game.
Go look at the last 6 quarterbacks that have played in the last 3 Super Bowls. You tell me one average quarterback in them.
Well, Jimmy G was.
I didn't say he was. That was 4 years ago. I said the last 3. I played it smart. I played it smart on that. Matthew Stafford was elite last year.
But he's never been elite. All of a sudden he was elite.
I mean, people would say he was
like Matthew Stafford. So stop.
Me?
When
when did I ever say I didn't like him like
Dak Prescott?
When?
You said he was the same quarterback. He was never.
He played for Detroit.
Okay, so that was an excuse. Put him around a real team. That's why I think if we could just move on a little bit and just kind of move into the Jets a little bit is as much as I think the Jets want Aaron Rodgers, right? And I think
who's in the tougher situation?
Hold on.
Giants or the Jets?
Hold on. If you're the Jets, right, you want Aaron Rodgers. You want the top dog. You want that Instagram model. You want that person. But you're going to have to give up a lot to get it, right? And if they get Aaron Rodgers, they become at least a Super Bowl caliber team with that defense and the weapons. But you got to give up assets. If you take Derek Carr, you don't have to give up anything. And you don't have to worry about $58 million. And you don't have to worry about all the drama and the BS that comes with Aaron Rodgers because he's going to have to handle New York press. This ain't Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers. Wait till your first press conference. You come to New York. To be fine, like Derek Jeter said, it's like 5,000 people in the room, bro. It's a whole different ballgame in the Big Apple, right? And everything you do will be scrutinized. And he would have, if he goes to Jets, he would have the most pressure of any player in the NFL next year. 100,000%. Wouldn't even be close, at least in my personal opinion. But that's a Super Bowl caliber team. With Derek Carr, the Jets are on the fringe. They are a playoff team, but they're not yet the Super Bowl team because that is the difference between Aaron Rodgers and Derek Carr. Truthfully, in my thought process, but is that good enough for you as a Jet fan? Is that good enough for the Jets and organization that they think they can win a Super Bowl with Derek Carr? Because that's the biggest question. That is the question because, Trev, we know this. Teams, as we saw with the Rams and we saw with Tampa, you will forget about the future down the road to go win a Super Bowl now. If you win a Super Bowl now, that buys you 3 to 5 years. You think Tampa Bay is worried about –
Look at both of those franchises, though, now.
But do you think Tampa Bay cares about the $55 million over the cap that they are this year because of Brady's retirement and everything? No, they got a Super Bowl.
Yeah, they may not care.
That buys that organization 3 to 5 years.
But they may not care, but they may lose some of those big –
That's okay. And you regroup.
So you lose Mike Evans, you lose
He's older. You trade him for assets. The Rams.
He's older, dude. The guy just hit give me a break. The guy's
he's like 32 years old, 30 years old.
And he's a perennial 1,000-yard receiver. Okay. Who gives a crap?
Now you can trade him for assets if you need to. Okay. You can trade him.
But now you have to lose all that.
Okay, now
I get it.
Do you think the Rams are upset with winning a Super Bowl, going all in for Jalen?
No, I don't think so. But now I don't think so. But now you're looking at a year later, and it's a whole different. I get it. But now you're looking at a whole different story. Now you might have to trade Jalen Ramsey. Who knows what Aaron Donald? Okay. Listen, then guess what? You go back down to the bottom and you got to start all over. You got nothing.
Let's be dead honest. If we had a Jets fan on right, and I said you get Aaron Rodgers right now, and you're going to be in the Super Bowl, but you're going to have to give up 2 first-round picks going forward, would you do it? I think 9 out of 10 Jet fans would say yes. Because most Jet fans haven't been alive enough to see a team in the Super Bowl.
To possibly get him 1 year. Because here's the thing. Why I say all these teams playing with fire right now. The Bears, why they're playing with fire? All these circling reports of, maybe they'll trade Justin Fields. Yeah, that's going to work well if we're going to hear that for the next couple months. Because guess what? Then a tiresome quarterback says, hey, guess what? You want to trade me? Trade me then. Get me out. See ya. Bye. I don't want to deal. I don't want a team that wants me. The Giants got to figure out if they want Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley. They want them both back, or are they going to let them both walk? the Ravens, man, they've been playing with fire for the past year because if Lamar's not going to get paid, somebody will go out. The Jets are the most interesting of the all four because of the fact, and I'd much rather be the Giants than the New York Jets. Because if you play this, and I told you this yesterday, Ted, when we were on the phone, if you play this waiting game for Aaron Rodgers, and we're going to wait for the ticking time bomb, the Kyrie Irving of the NFL, and I don't want to say it in a bad term of the sense of, but when we think of Kyrie Irving, take away all the how he thinks and stuff, he's a drama queen, and he always brings baggage. Aaron Rodgers, a guy that speaks his mind, that's fine, I get it, but when you got to go play the Brett Favre game in the sense of over and over and over. Oh, I gotta go in the dark. Dude, get a clue and wake your ass up. Get your head out of your ass and stop thinking you're God's gift to earth. Okay? You didn't have a great year last year. You had probably your worst year since you came into the league, maybe since your rookie year. I get it. You didn't have Devontae Adams. Who cares? Patrick Mahomes didn't have Tyreek Hill. I know we had Travis Kelce, but he just won another Super Bowl. And you're sitting here saying, I'm going to go hide in the dark and figure out my life. Dude, if you're a Jeffy, and I get it, you want the quarterback. You've been wanting it forever since Joe Namath. I understand that. But when you have two quarterbacks,
you had the worst quarterback play in the league.
I get it. I understand. But if you're going to play this waiting game and say, oh, we're going to wait for Aaron Rodgers. Okay. And then what if Derek Carr says, well, I don't want to be nobody's second option. Well, I want to be their first option. Guess what? What if he says, I'm going to New Orleans? What if he just says that? What if he goes to the Saints? What if he says, I'm going to shock everybody and I go to the team like the Titans?
Well, did you see what Derek Carr's brother said?
Yes, he's going to take a long process. You know why? I watched that on Get Up, but I watched on Get Up. You know why they said that? And they all agreed because he didn't get the money that he wanted. And when you say that, you got to reevaluate all your things. The Saints and the Jets didn't give him the contract that he probably wanted.
Well, yeah, because he probably wants what that.
Are you willing to pay? Are you willing to play this waiting game, knowing have a team that is so close to possibly greatness, to maybe winning a championship? I know the AFC is so stacked, but they're so close that you want to play this waiting game for a hothead that you may trade for. You may have to trade a lot for multiple first-round picks.
Well, you got to hope that Green Bay's willing to trade.
But also the one thing too. Oh, they're probably going to move on from him. They want to play Jordan Love and see what they got for him.
I don't know, bro.
But if they decide to play that game, the waiting game, they do get Aaron Rodgers. Are you going to think about every offseason until Aaron Rodgers actually retires that we're going to have to play this game? What's next year? What's next year? What's next year, Aaron Rodgers? I'm going to go in a hot air balloon and go 40,000 feet in the air and say, hey, I think I like doing this instead of playing football. Like, are we going to be playing this game every year? And even if the Jets
it's no different than Brett Favre. We've seen this before.
Yes, and do you remember how annoying and obnoxious Brett Favre in that whole situation was?
Even the Jets had a chance late in that season to do big things.
They lost to the Dolphins.
Yeah. But
the only other team,
that would be pretty remarkable that both star quarterbacks for Green Bay eventually played for the Jets. But here's the thing: if you're the Jets, you got to play the long process out. It's worth the wait.
When you're
if you can get him, here's the thing: first of all, you got to find out if the Packers are going to trade him. All right. Second of all, you got to see if you can get him and what the assets are. Because here's the other thing: I think there's three teams. I think it's Oakland, it's the Jets, or it's back home, or the fourth option, which I think he is a highly doubted thing, is retirement. He's going to give up $58 million. I don't think he's that dumb. He ain't that lost in the dark. All right. So I think if you're the Jets and there's an opportunity to get Aaron Rodgers, you wait for it. You wait for it.
Okay.
But listen, I understand where you're coming from, and you say, I think they also want Derek Carr at their number though, because I'm thinking Derek Carr wants something like 4 years, $45 million, 140.
I don't think Derek Carr is a bad quarterback.
He's not. Listen, that is your problem. That's you corrected me perfectly. He's not a bad quarterback. If you have to say he's not that bad, he isn't that good then.
But how many great quarterbacks are in the league right now?
Is he good enough? He's not top 10. He is not top 10.
So who's your top 10 quarterbacks right now?
Don't make me do the top 10 right now because I don't have
I'm gonna put your damn on the spot, bro.
I don't have 10 right now. I can't.
You can't name 10 quarterbacks right now.
I can name all.
You can name the 7. You can name the first 7, right? I'll give you the 7 that we always talk about. Lamar being the 7th. Jalen Hurts, Burrow, Herbert, Allen, Mahomes,
Lawrence.
Okay, there's 7. Who's 8, 9, and 10 for you?
Oh, it was Brady, but Rodgers.
Brady's retired.
We have Rodgers.
You can put Rodgers if you want.
Rodgers is definitely in there.
Okay, that's 8.
Tua when he's healthy. Tua, listen, that team offensively, when he was healthy and right, that team was one of the best teams in the league, and their points numbers and stuff were competitive as good as anybody in the league.
I will. I get that. Yeah,
I get it.
I'll take the durability.
I get it.
I'm not taking that chance.
Tua played better. We're talking about now. Tua was a better player.
Okay, so there's 8. So okay,
listen, Derek Carr had a shitty year, and he had Devontae Adams and all the players.
Who's the next one? So you said Tua. That's 9.
Geno had a better season and better quarterback this year. Geno was a better quarterback.
Are you taking Geno Smith over him?
Might be.
Please, after 1 year. After 1 year, we're going to put Geno Smith as a top 10 quarterback. Wow, what does the NFL come to now?
I told you I would take Dak over him. I would take Dak over Derek Carr.
I wouldn't take Dak.
I'll take – and you know what?
I wouldn't take Dak. First of all, I wouldn't take Dak because –
I'm taking Dak, not Cousins. Listen, I think a healthy Tannehill is right there too. He's in that conversation. At least in that conversation.
Are you taking Stafford?
Yeah.
Okay.
Stafford's better than – and I'll tell you know who's right there on the fringe if he had another good year? Daniel Jones.
How about Justin Fields?
I think – listen, Trev, talent-wise, I think he's top 10 talent.
Okay.
I just would like to see an offensive-minded coach, a Brian Dable in there with an offensive line with some weapons to prove that he's worth his.
I think Derek Carr gets knocked for a lot of things. I mean, when you have to play for a franchise,
I'll take Brock Purdy over him. Russell Wilson.
Oh, stop!
I'll take Russell Wilson over Derek Carr.
I'm taking you off the show now.
No,
I'm gonna do solo
you can't
after
do that.
this.
This is a Cole Bryant thing.
No.
Listen, Russell.
You can't be mentioning Russell Wilson's name ever again.
He
on
had
the
a
show.
bad season. One season. Yeah. Okay, hold on. One season doesn't ruin a guy's career.
I never said it did, but he's done.
Nathaniel Hackett, bro, was a mess.
He's done.
Dude, you hear all the reports from Denver? What a.
Yeah, I know. He's awful.
I'm just going to say it. What a shit show it was in Denver.
Yeah, of course. It's like Jacksonville.
So I think with a real coach and Sean Payton, Russell Wilson, he didn't get bad over one day. He didn't learn how not to play football. He had a bad season. I just think everything went wrong.
Derek Carr has been on a franchise that has only been to two
Okay, now we're going to make an excuse. Their defense. One of the worst defenses. They can't draft. Hold on. I got another quarterback I'll take over Derek Carr. We always forget. Sorry. I'll take Deshaun Watson over him. I know he hadn't played in 2.5 years, and he didn't look great, but I'm still taking Deshaun Watson.
He looked awful. He's a bum.
Guess what?
I moved on from Deshaun Watson. That's why I'm done with him. Yeah. He was my guy. I'm done with him. I moved on.
You would still take Deshaun Watson over
I've upgraded. I take Derek Carr.
That's a downgrade. That's a downgrade.
Derek Carr played for the Las Vegas / Oakland Raiders, who have been possibly, with the exception of maybe the Cleveland Browns, the worst franchise in the past 20 years. They can't ever figure out a coach. They can't figure out draft picks. Their management is a joke. Their fans are probably the best thing about them, even though they're nuts. They're passionate. Yes, I know they went to go get Devontae Adams, but go look at their defense since Derek Carr has been the quarterback. It's been at the bottom of the league. How are you supposed to do that? I know he didn't have a great year. I get it. But still, Derek Carr, I'd much rather have him over Dak Prescott, who for majority of his career had the more talented offense, maybe with the exception of this 1 year, and he still is awful. Dak Prescott still is the same type of quarterback that he's been in college, just has a lot more money in his pocket.
We got to put that out to a vote. Something like a poll thing. Who would you rather have, Derek Carr or Dak Prescott?
I'm taking Derek Carr.
I'm taking Dak Prescott.
Okay, I have picks. I have 20 picks. I'm sorry. I'm just.
You look like
I
sent you the picture.
I know he had 14 picks last year. I get it. But Derek Carr gets a bad reputation.
Trev,
when you're in a bad franchise, when you're in an awful franchise, bro. Come on.
Trev, he had the leading running back. Rushing attack. He had Devontae Adams. He had Hunter Renfrow. I get Darren Waller and
Hunter Renfrow was pretty much out for majority of the season.
Okay, listen.
Darren Waller gets injured.
Offensive
line is bad. Their offensive line's awful.
Wasn't that worse than the Giants?
Their defense is awful. Their defense is awful.
Then you know what? Maybe we should blame it on the coach.
And Josh McDaniels is a bum.
Well, he's not a bum.
He is.
Maybe he's not a head coach. Maybe he's an offensive coordinator.
Oh, he's a bum.
So that doesn't make him a bum.
Yeah, he's a bum. Hey, I'm speaking how I speak. He's a bum.
You're a bum.
Josh, no, I'm a handsome bum.
You're no bum.
I'm a handsome bum. But that's what I'm saying is that, like, this offseason, it's just getting started. I mean, the franchise tag day is officially upon us now. See what the Giants and all these teams do. But don't be playing with fire. If you're the Jets, I get it. You need the quarterback. Do you go after Lamar? Do you go after Rodgers, or do you go after Derek Carr?
Settling if you're the Jets, if you take Derek Carr and you risk not, like, imagine if you could have got Rodgers, but you settle for Derek Carr. I
can't play this waiting game, this BS nonsense. I got to go in the dark. Like, when I saw that, I'm just shaking my head like, dude, I don't want this guy.
Though.
I would never want this guy. I would never want this guy as my quarterback. Just like I never wanted the Lakers, and I'm so glad the Lakers did not trade for Kyrie Irving. And I don't care. Call me crazy. Call me an idiot. Call me a buffoon. I don't care. I want guys that are going to be there, and I don't have to worry about baggage. I don't care how people feel about what I just said. That's how it's the truth. I don't want people. I want people that are going to be there, that want to be there. I'm not playing these games.
But, listen, if I'm the Jets and I can get Aaron Rodgers after what I've dealt with,
of course, Trev, I get that.
Trev, they've had Sam Darnold and Zach Wilson, bro. And
Ted, I'm not disagreeing with you.
I'm not saying Derek Carr is a bum. He's not a bum. He is above average, really good quarterback. Cousins is not a bad quarterback. Neither is Dak. We make them out like they're so bad. They're not bad, man.
They're above average quarterbacks.
When you compare them to those 5-6 guys that we look at in the upper echelon, it's a different boat. They're on the second boat, and
exactly.
And that's the problem. And then when you look at it, is like, is he good enough? Considering, you're going into the AFC, which does have, Allen and Watson, and the Steelers and Lamar and Russell and Trevor Lawrence and this guy and that guy, and you start looking, you're like, damn. 7 of the top 8 quarterbacks are like all from the AFC. The only guy in the NFC you would take is Jalen Hurts. Right now, right? Stafford's off an injury. Kyler Murray's off an injury. AFC South has no quarterbacks. All you have is Dak and Jalen Hurts, right? And Dak's had a really bad year.
Jared Goff.
Oh, would you take Jared Goff over Derek Carr?
After this year, probably, yeah.
So now when we start having this conversation like we did before, we named like 12, 15 quarterbacks.
Yeah, he's in the he's in the 11 to 15 range. I get that. I would say 10 to 15 range. Derek Carr is. The Jets, look, if Aaron Rodgers is there for the taking, yes, you go pull the trigger and you go do it. You get him. Yeah. If you want to if he's going to play this waiting game and take forever, like, I don't get him. I think I don't understand it.
Listen, he's got to do what he's got to do.
The Bears ride with freaking Justin Fields, man. He's an awful offensive line. He has no weapons. They're going to have almost $100 million in cap space. They have the number 1 pick. Go get the man the help. Give him a receiver. Give him a chance to at least.
Someone might not want to sign with them. You got to think about it.
I got it. But give him a chance. Give him a chance.
My thing is this. I told you, whatever is going to get you the biggest package, you do the deal. So if that means you keep Fields and you're going to get the biggest package for the number 1 pick, then give up the number 1 pick and go to wherever, as long as you're not going too far.
Baltimore.
If someone wants Fields and you're going to maintain the number 1 pick, and that's the bigger package, you do so, and you reset the game. You reset your clock, because think about this. You'll start another rookie quarterback, which means you don't have to worry about 2 or 3 years. You're going to have to pay Fields. You got that salary cap. You can keep building on your team going forward. And this is a league right now, as we've talked about. You're either here or there. Right now, they're there. They're like where the Giants and Jets were, right? They need talent. They need defensive talent. They need offensive talent. Their best player is Justin Fields. Right? They gave up Khalil Mack. They gave up Roquan Smith. They've given up top pieces, right? Their defense is not what it once was, but this league isn't about defense no more. This league is about offense. They made a move for Chase Claypool. He didn't really do much for them. They have Darnell Mooney. They got a decent tight end in Cole Kmet. Running back to a dime a dozen. You find a running back. You find some pieces. First thing you got to do is, and we've talked about this, get some offensive linemen to protect him. Find an offensive scheme that works, all right, and surround him with talent, just like the Eagles did.
That's what I just wanted to finish.
Because that is a winnable division, because I look at Minnesota next year. They're going to come back to life.
That's why I just wanted
to loses Aaron Rodgers.
Well, Detroit will be better.
So right now, can you? Let's be honest, and you can maybe end it on this. Do you really have faith that the Detroit Lions are going to win the division next year?
Hell yeah, bro. Dan Campbell, man, riding high with him, biting kneecaps and biting kneecaps.
Remember that 221.
We're biting kneecaps and we're biting kneecaps to get to the NFC North title. Good for the Detroit Lions. That's all. Chicago, run it with Justin Fields. Give him an opportunity. Do not trade for Bryce Young. I don't know if that's ever going to work. We'll see how that pans out.
Why does it have to be Bryce Young?
I don't know. That's what they all say. I don't know.
No, that's what
he's projected to be the number. He's projected to be the number one pick, possibly, or the first quarterback taken. That's all I've been hearing.
Listen, how many rumors are we going to hear from now till April 26th?
A million.
Exactly.
And then the Giants and Jets. The Giants give Daniel Jones the franchise tag, the exclusive franchise tag. Run it back with him for one more year. Give him some pieces, just like Justin Fields. Saquon, if he's asking for $15 million, Saquon is a pleasure. I loved everything you did for us. You're a tremendous human being, a tremendous player, but an even better human being. But if you're asking for $15 million, it's just not. It just can't happen. It just can't. You got to move on from it and try to go get some other pieces. Baltimore, man, you just playing with fire. You've been playing with fire for a year. This man should have already been signed. I get it. Hasn't won a Super Bowl. Struggles in the playoffs. But this man is one of the top 7-6 quarterbacks in the world right now. He's done everything for your franchise. Man should have already been paid. If you don't, good luck going back to the drawing boards. And then, like I said, the Jets, if you want to play the waiting game on Aaron Rodgers, be my guest. I just wouldn't want to have a hothead as my quarterback right now. Just wouldn't. And I get it. The Jets are.
He can work in New York.
Oh, my God. Can you imagine him in New York? Every second he says something would be newsworthy. We'll never see let's just say that if Aaron Rodgers does go to New York, we'll never see the Giants on the New York Post.
That's actually a good thing. I'm actually glad.
It will just be all because all of a sudden the Jets and Mets feel like they feel like they're coming back to life. But there is a whole hell of a lot more that will be happening, unraveling in the NFL world. Like I said, we'll also be talking baseball's coming up in a few weeks. World Baseball Classic, Yankees, Aaron Judge looks like he's trying to go for 63 now this year. It's amazing. You break a record and all of a sudden you start getting a little arrogant. Let's just go win a damn championship, okay?
That's what he said. If you listen to the thing,
I know. I'm only kidding. I'm kidding.
No kid.
But go win a championship. That's what I care about. I don't give a crap about 100 home runs. Go get a championship for us. And then the NBA. It's crunch time in the NBA. Ladies and gentlemen, we're Keys to the City. See you next episode. We are out.
You are now in tune to the Keys to the City podcast.